This is Daniel Bryan face turn. That's right. It switched it back. It doesn't make any fucking sense, but, I like it. Wrestling review for Monday Night Raw, episode January 13th, 2014. And I'm just gonna say right off the bat, I feel like crap right now. I am taking on a serious stomach bug flu. I don't know what the hell it is, but I feel like garbage. So I'm gonna blow through this review as quick as I can so that something terrible doesn't happen to me while I'm filming. So, here we go. First match of the night, the Usos versus Bray Wyatt, Daniel Bryan, and you had massive Daniel Bryan chants. Even though the Usos were trying to get their chant started and do their moves, people were still cheering for Daniel Bryan. I thought that was fucking hilarious. This match was alright. It was pretty short. The Usos, they started taking over during the match, so Rowan and Harper jumped in to attack, so the Usos won by disqualification. Daniel Bryan, he wound up eating a super kick out of the whole deal from one of the Usos, and then he took a Sister Abigail finisher from Bray Wyatt while the crowd was cheering for Daniel Bryan. Insane cheers for the guy, but they gave him a finisher, then they drug him off backstage because, well, they negated it at the end, but I don't know, man. This just kind of felt like a waste of time now that I think about it going back. Whatever. Fuck it. Damien Sandow versus John Cena next. Fuck, man. You know who wins this match. I don't have to tell you. Take a fucking guess. I mean, just take a guess. And the WWE was even kind enough. They were courteous enough to show us that clusterfuck that happened in October when Sandow cashed in his Money in the Bank contract after doing this little talk segment and a whole big 30-35 minute double segment to put over John Cena. This was a garbage fucking match. I mean, the crowd was popping for the near falls, but I wasn't popping. I wasn't popping for shit because I knew who was going to win, and that's what happened. Cena won. Big fucking deal. As far as I can see it, every near fall that Cena kicks out of is just another way to show how invincible he is. And at this point, when I see somebody put a submission hold on John Cena, I'm fucking pissed. I'm getting up and walking away from the TV because I know how that's going to turn out. He's going to fucking kick out. That asshole wouldn't tap out if somebody had him bent over backwards, shoving his own head up his fucking ass. In fact, he would probably like that. Big Show versus Jack Swagger. Fuck, man, I'd rather like get a cavity filled or something than watch this garbage. Big Show won. Whatever. It was a squash match. It was a squash match to put over Big Show, but that wasn't enough. They had to have Big Show punch Zeb Coulter in the face for some fucking reason, and it took like 5 minutes. They figured out a way to make a punch last 5 minutes, and that 5 minutes felt like 5 hours. It was the worst, man. It was fucking stupid. And between Dusty Rhodes and Zeb Coulter, why is Big Show beating up all these old fucking guys? Stop it. It's stupid. CM Punk and the New Age Outlaws versus The Shield. This match was pretty decent. It was a cool drop kick from Roman Reigns. He was outside and he ran up to Punk, his head was hanging outside the ropes, and he jumped up, drop kicked him, and then he just kind of sat on the apron as Punk flew back inside. That was a pretty cool spot. I haven't quite seen that before that I can recall, so I really liked it. At one point, Punk, he's basically getting the shit beat out of him, but he does manage to get over to Road Dogg and Billy Gunn to make the hot tag, but then they both drop down off the apron and walk away. They just check out of the match, leaving Punk on his own. He tries to put up a fight, but he eventually takes a spear from Roman Reigns, and then he gets the triple powerbomb. Yeah, this is probably just going to play into the CM Punk versus Triple H match at WrestleMania, and oh boy, do I not want to see that fucking match. Up next, we had some Diva garbage, followed by the announcement. Ultimate Warrior, the first inductee into this year's Hall of Fame. Pretty cool stuff. I was a huge fan of the Ultimate Warrior back in the day. I mean, he was just the coolest thing on TV if you were a young kid and you saw him coming out, cutting those weird fucking promos and just running down to the ring with the tassels and shaking the ropes. It was awesome stuff. Awesome fucking shit. I do find it a little weird, though, because years ago, the WWE put out like a 2.5-hour DVD talking about how shitty the Ultimate Warrior was and how much garbage he was. Like, they had a lot of superstars on there talking about how much ass the Ultimate Warrior sucked. And now they're inducting him into the Hall of Fame. Alright, Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton. And, well, this match was alright. It started to get a little boring towards the end. It just kind of seemed like it was dragging on for a while. But the first part of it was pretty good. But then it, like, slowed down. And, I don't know, man. It got fucking dull. And plus, it's hard for me to root for the perennial mid-carder that is Kofi Kingston. I mean, when he comes out, especially when he's facing a guy like Randy Orton, I know he's going to lose. Except in this match, in a twist, the WWE thought it would be a good idea for Kofi to pin Randy Orton, beat him with the SOS, and then Orton's like flipping out after the match, and he runs out of the arena into the parking lot, he hops in his DeLorean, he sets his dial back to 2008, 2009, and then he travels back through time, runs over to John Cena's dad and beats the fucking shit out of him, just like he did years ago. Now, yeah, I know last time he punted him in the head, and this time, I don't know, he just ganked him over the guardrail or something, but it's the same fucking thing. Can't they think of anything else to do? People were already complaining that this was so similar to, like, they didn't want to see this rehash stuff where they fought each other for, like, 8 fucking months years ago. Now they're doing it again. They even included the same fucking angle where Orton attacks Cena's dad. I mean, they can't think of anything else? They can't use a different family? What about his mom? What about his brother? What about fucking just come up with something else? Don't attack a family member. Do something else to him. It's really it shows a lack of creativity as far as I'm concerned, and it just fucking sucks. Hey, we got Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus Ryback. This match was okay, not too much to talk about here. Cody Rhodes wound up winning with the Crossroads on Curtis Axel. But Ryback, he brought down the quality of the match in my opinion because he was pretty garbage. He was botching some stuff, and you know, that's Ryback. Ryback gonna Ryback whenever Ryback can. Alberto Del Rio versus Rey Mysterio next. I'm gonna be honest with you, at this point, I was curled up in a ball on my couch, wincing in pain because my stomach was destroying me. And by the time I felt better, I did not feel like going back and watching this Del Rio Mysterio match because I've seen plenty of Del Rio Mysterio matches in my day. I believe Mysterio tapped out to the cross arm breaker, and then Del Rio proceeded to cut another garbage fucking promo on Batista. I don't want to see Del Rio versus Batista either. What is with these garbage fucking matches they're planning? I hope they don't go through with that one-on-one match. It's gonna suck dick. Got a big promo for the WWE Network. Quickly, my thoughts on the WWE Network. Sounds like a good deal. $10 a month. You get all the pay-per-views. That's a big thing. And access to the whole back catalog of all the old shit. Depending on what old shit they're going to release to let you watch. But everybody's really excited about all these pay-per-views being available. And you only have to pay $10 a month for it. Except the problem is that you're guaranteed to get 8 pay-per-views a year. 7 or 8 that are fucking garbage. I mean, look at the last, 3 or 4. They sucked tremendously, horribly bad. That's not worth $10 a month, in my opinion. That's garbage. Okay, so main event. The Usos versus Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt. A rematch. They made it earlier in the night, except this time, steel cage match. Cage door is locked. You can still win by pin or submission, but, you know, all 4 guys are in there fighting at the same time, so basically, the idea is to escape over the top of the cage in this match. And this match was pretty good. I really liked it. Having all 4 guys in there at once was pretty fast-paced, very energetic. There were lots of good spots in this match. There was a top rope Russian leg sweep on a Daniel Bryan, a top rope double back body drop that Daniel Bryan took. And the crowd was popping huge for Daniel Bryan during this match, too. And then Uso super kicked Bray Wyatt while he was setting up the other Uso for his finisher. That was a pretty cool spot too. So to end the match, Usos are climbing out of the cage, and Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt chasing after him. One Uso knocks Daniel Bryan into Bray Wyatt, who's on the ropes, so he splits the ropes, falls over. Usos win the match, and then Bray gets his psycho eyes. He goes up to Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan gets down in his little pose, saying, "Yeah, come rape my ass again." Bray Wyatt goes to do it with the Sister Abigail. This time, Daniel Bryan counters out of it. The crowd goes fucking berserk, man. The place just explodes. And then we get it with a Daniel Bryan face turn. Yeah, I thought it was well executed. It really had the crowd going. I know if I would have been there live, I would have been completely flipping out. And it was surreal to see Daniel Bryan right before he did his running knee onto Bray Wyatt, leading those yes chants, and just almost every single person in the crowd keeping up pace with him, just waiting for him to do it so they could do it with him. And when the camera panned out and you saw all those people doing it, it was crazy, man. That was really cool. Now, I thought this was great, turning him back face, but it really doesn't make any fucking sense to me. He was only a heel for one full episode of Raw, because 2 weeks ago he turned heel at the end of the show. Last week, a full heel for the show, and then at the end of this show, he turned back to the face. So, why turn him heel for 1 week? I don't really understand that. Unless it was truly the WWE's plan to turn him heel for 1 week and then turn him back, I kind of feel like they might have changed their minds on this when they heard all of the negative fucking reaction, not just from internet fans, but people in the industry saying how ridiculous it was to turn the guy heel. It's very possible that they may have changed their minds and said, fuck it, man, we better turn this back. People are fucking pissed. But what really happened, I don't know. Who knows why they did it? All I can say is that they did do it, which means that there is a bottom, okay? There is a dirt level, and the WWE is at least a little bit above that. They weren't so fucking stupid that they were going to turn him heel and make him heel and just waste all that potential money. Just fucking throw it out the window. At least they are not that stupid. So I guess I could give the WWE a thumbs up for that, for not being dirt fucking retard stupid. Alright, so overall I'm giving this episode a C. There were just a lot of matches on this Raw that were, I didn't really care about most of them. But the whole Daniel Bryan thing was great. The CM Punk match was okay. It wasn't the best. But other than that, there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. Alright, that's it. JB Squared, 61279 with a wrestling review. I hope I'm feeling better next week, and I will see you guys then.